I never thought my quiet lake cabin would become the scene of an epic showdown, but that's exactly what happened. It all started when I bought this beautiful little spot, my personal getaway from the city chaos. The cabin came with one tiny catch, a homeowners association, or HOA. Now, I'm a rule follower. I pay my dues on time, keep the place neat. So I figured, how bad could it be? Famous last words, right? The trouble began with a woman I'll call Karen. She was the self-appointed queen of the HOA, patrolling the neighborhood like it was her personal kingdom. My first run-in was over my mailbox. Apparently it was half an inch too far to the left. Then it was the color of my welcome mat. It was a constant barrage of petty complaints and passive-aggressive notes. I tried to be neighborly, I really did. I'd smile, wave, and fix whatever tiny infraction she discovered that day, but it was never enough. It felt like she was just looking for a fight. Things escalated when I decided to build a small, private dock. I did everything by the book. I spent months getting the right permits from the county, the state, even the environmental agency. I had a stack of approved documents thick enough to stop a door. I hired a reputable contractor and we began the work. The moment the first post went into the water, Karen went ballistic. She claimed my dock was an inch too long according to some obscure HOA bylaw from the 1970s. She started leaving threatening notices on my door, saying the HOA would fine me into oblivion and have my dock torn down. I showed her my permits, but she just scoffed and said, "County permits don't matter here. I am the law here." It was getting ridiculous. I was stressed, and my peaceful retreat was turning into a battlefield. I decided I needed legal advice. Through a friend, I was introduced to a guy named Mr. Davies. He wasn't just any lawyer. He was a highly respected state attorney. We agreed to meet at my cabin to discuss the situation and review my documents. It was a Saturday morning. The lake was calm, and for the first time in weeks, I felt a glimmer of hope. Mr. Davies was incredibly professional and reassuring. We sat at my kitchen table, coffee in hand, with all my permits and HOA documents spread out between us. He was examining a blueprint when we heard a loud banging on the door. It wasn't a knock. It was a full-on frantic pounding. Before I could even get up, the door swung open, and there stood Karen, phone in her hand, recording. She didn't even see Mr. Davies at first. Her eyes were locked on me, blazing with fury. "I knew it," she shrieked. "You're doing unapproved construction. I'm documenting this for the HOA lawsuit. You are going down." She panned her phone around the room, trying to capture some evidence of my supposed crime. Her camera swept past the blueprints on the table, past the coffee cups, and then it landed on Mr. Davies. His expression was calm, almost amused. He slowly looked up from the papers, raised an eyebrow, and said in a very quiet, very authoritative voice, "Ma'am, who are you? And did you just illegally enter this man's private residence?" Karen froze. The color drained from her face. She stammered, I'm with the HOA. I have a right to be here. He's violating the rules." Mr. Davies slowly stood up, and you could just feel the shift in the room. He was a tall man, and his presence was commanding. "No, you don't have the right to be here," he said, his voice dropping an octave. "You've just committed breaking and entering. And since you're recording, you're also creating evidence of your crime. Congratulations." He pulled out his own phone and his badge. "I'm State Attorney Davies. I'm here on official business, which you have just interrupted. Now you have two choices. You can leave this property immediately and delete that video, or you can stay and explain to the sheriff's deputies why you felt it was appropriate to barge into a private home." I have never seen someone backpedal so fast in my life. Karen's jaw was on the floor. She started sputtering apologies. "Oh, Mr. Attorney, sir, I am so sorry. I didn't realize. I thought it was a misunderstanding." She was fumbling with her phone, trying to delete the video. She looked absolutely terrified. Mr. Davies just stared at her, his expression unreadable. "This is not a misunderstanding. This is harassment and trespassing. I have reviewed all the permits for this dock. They are perfectly in order. Your campaign against this homeowner, however, is not." He took a step forward. "I suggest you return to your own home and seriously reconsider your role in this community. If I hear one more complaint about you harassing him, it won't be an HOA notice you receive. It'll be a court summons. Do you understand me?" Karen just nodded, her eyes wide as saucers. She couldn't get out of my cabin fast enough. She practically tripped over my welcome mat, the one she hated so much, on her way out. The door slammed shut behind her, and the cabin was suddenly silent again. I just stood there, stunned. I looked at Mr. Davies and just started laughing. I couldn't help it. The relief was overwhelming. He chuckled too. "Well," he said, sitting back down, "I don't think you'll be hearing from her again. Now, where were we? Ah, yes, the structural integrity of this corner post." And that was it. The reign of HOA Karen was over. The dock was finished without another peep from her. In fact, I barely saw her after that. When I did, she'd practically run in the other direction to avoid making eye contact, and the neighborhood became peaceful again. My lake cabin finally became the sanctuary it was always meant to be, and it's all thanks to a well-timed meeting with a state attorney. Sometimes, justice isn't just blind. It also has a great sense of comic timing. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories.